You might be wondering, what's the worst part about LittleCup? Is it how stall virtually doesn't exist in the tier? Could it be that damage rolls are wild and wacky? Maybe it's the lack of good, informative LittleCup YouTube channels. Well, the lack of stall is, in my opinion, an amazing thing. I hate stall. Damage rolls are a bit random, but they typically make a noticeable impact about 6.3% of the time. And there are some great LittleCup channels like the one you're watching right now. Feel free to subscribe, but only if you feel like it. No, the biggest problem with LittleCup, in my opinion, is the speed tiers. But even though I describe this as the worst part about the tier, there's still a silver lining. Let me explain. In LittleCup, all of the Pokemon are level 5. You've probably heard 100 times about how this messes up damage calculations and scales funneling with the large base powers and moves available, but that's all true. But one other impact of Pokemon being at level 5, however, is that speed stats end up all being within a few points of each other. In LittleCup, a slow mon might have 14 speed, while a fast one is 18. This is an extremely minuscule difference, but what's the big deal? In level 100 tiers like OU, there are fast and slow Pokemon as well. Why does making the numbers smaller matter so much? It's all due to how LittleCup rounds the numbers. You can't have a speed stat of 17.2 for example, you'll either end up with 17 or 18. The problem with this is that numerous Pokemon end up with the exact same speed stat. The highest unboosted speed stat achievable in LittleCup is 20, with the only relevant mon using that stat being Hisui and Voltorb. But once you hit 17 for example, Drifloon, Wattrel, Toedscool, Grookey, Houndour, Mienfoo, Zorua, Hisuian Zorua, and Crabrawler all have the exact same speed stat, assuming that they all run max speed, which most opt to. This results in numerous speed ties throughout a match. I'd say there's at least 1 to 2 speed ties per game on average. If 2 Pokemon have the same speed stat, it's just a coin flip for who attacks first. This just creates a layer of randomness in LittleCup, and losing because your Mienfoo got outsped by your opponent's Mienfoo in a 50-50 just feels bad. I've both won and lost countless games to speed ties, and that randomness is probably my least favorite part of LittleCup. But even under all of this, there's a silver lining. Although it does create coin flip situations, the flip side of this is that it makes team building more accessible. After just 5 or 6 games, you can easily see what speeds are important and what aren't. Compare this to OU, or any other level 100 tier, and it starts to look very simple, but more importantly, accessible. You don't have to masterfully EV your Pokemon to outspeed just one specific threat at some specific number, you just try to hit important speed tiers like 16 or 17. I usually full invest into speed, or just don't invest at all. This makes the tier accessible to anyone without having to research specific speed tiers like an OU. I still don't like the speed tiers of LittleCup, but at least there's something good to come from it. And if you liked this video, just consider subscribing. Please don't feel forced to, but if you like the video, it'll show you more of them. Anyways, thank you all, have a good day, and feel free to comment any questions or comments, and just have a good one.